G'day guys, welcome back to another Robbie Mills outdoor gardening video. Today I want to talk about avocado trees. They can be such a mission to grow. I have failed many times at growing avocados. I wish I had known these tricks the first time I tried to grow avocados. I've grown avocados at my old place and I had 3 trees that got to like 10 foot. Next thing you know, they're dead. And it's probably happened to you too. So with these tips I'm going to give you 10 hacks, tips to do, which is going to help you so much to be able to grow avocados, because everyone wants to have a crack at growing avocados, having their own avocado trees that produce fruit in their backyard. This is the first time I've been able to grow avocados to be able to get fruit on them. And this tree has only been in the ground for just 3 years. Super healthy. Growing pretty quick. And I'm sure you'd love to be able to grow some avocados as well in your own backyard. Okay, well, the number 1 hack is don't dig a hole. You definitely don't want to dig a hole when it comes to avocados because they're so prone to root rot. That's what kills your tree 9 times out of 10. The main thing they are prone to is sunburn and root rot. So what happens if you dig a hole and plant a tree? You loosen up all that soil where you've dug that hole, and what happens? It ends up filling with water. So your tree roots end up sitting in water in that hole. So when it rains, the hole fills up with water and sits there, because the water will only sit down as far as you've dug the hole. And that's what kills the trees. That constant sitting of water, constant sitting in water. They just don't like it. They might grow all right for a while and then suddenly, bang, they're dead. Okay, number 2 hack is put them in a raised bed. I've gone double here, double sleeper, raised bed, which has got them about half a metre out of the ground. I've not dug a hole underneath at all. I've just filled the beds up with soil and planted in the top and mounded them right up, because the plants will sink over time. So that's what you want to do, is make a big mound, or better, retain them with sleepers or something similar. Get them up out of the ground, up out of your main ground and into a raised bed. Number 3 is what I've done here, is put some big rocks and tiles and bricks underneath where I've planted the tree here. And that helps a lot with drainage and gives your roots something to grab onto as well, to make them a lot stronger. So I definitely recommend chucking in a heap of old bricks, tiles and a couple of big rocks underneath your trees. It gives them something to wrap around to help grab onto in the ground. Number 4 is the soil that you bring in. Bring in some well-drained soil. Don't definitely use clay for your soil, what you fill up your raised beds with. Make sure the soil you bring in is well drained, so then any water that you water at least runs in at the top and then runs down to the bottom bed and then runs out underneath, and doesn't pool underneath where your plants are growing. You don't want water pooling underneath. You want all your water to run off. It's the biggest thing with avocados. You can't have water pooling underneath them. And those rocks and the well-drained soil is just going to help that water work its way out, not straight down underneath. Okay, number 5 is plant your tree somewhere where you're going to have good runoff as well. So it's not at the bottom of a hill. You want to plant it somewhere where you get good drainage around the outside, where your water's not going to sit around, it's going to be well drained. What I've done is put in some extra drains into my stormwater. There's one here and another one over here. And that helps with any water that's going to come and pool around the edges, just to get away, so you're not making that whole clay area underneath wet. You're trying to keep that as dry as possible. And this is just the lengths you got to go to, I find, to grow avocados successfully. Rightio, number 6. Number 6 is companion planting, which a great companion plant to help suck moisture out of the ground is a passion fruit vine. Got a passion fruit vine growing here on the fence next to it, and as you can see, it's in the bottom left hand corner of this raised bed. And what that's going to do is all these leaves on the passion fruit vine, I've cut this vine back, so it was like heaps bushier than this before, but I've cut it all back now. But what it does through summer is it sucks all that moisture, extra moisture, out of that bottom of that garden bed. Helps keep the roots dry and all that area dry, which I think has helped a lot with this, because this is actually, I didn't have much choice in this backyard, and this is actually a bit of a wet spot where water does sit around, so I've gone to as much lengths as I can to keep this area dry. So definitely passion fruit helps. Just don't let it start growing up your fruit tree. Just make sure you just keep on top of it and let it grow where it's supposed to grow. Put some type of trellis next to it and just keep it off your avocado tree. But that's a great way to keep your ground dry underneath your avocado tree. Number 7. Number 7 is to plant an A and B variety type, which helps with cross-pollination. Here I've got a Hass, which is an A, and I've planted them right next to each other. And this is an Edgenol, which is a B type. If you look down underneath, there's 2 stems. They're only about a foot apart. So they'll help cross-pollinate each other. If you don't want to plant them so close together like that, just plant another one in your yard somewhere. But I had limited space here, so I just thought I'd try 2 together, and they've actually just, when you stand back, it actually just looks like one tree. So I think it's worked really well. I'm not going to let these trees get big. You only want them to grow another metre than, you know what I mean, for a home garden, another metre higher than what they are now. Just something that you can still reach off a ladder to pick your fruit. But you definitely don't want them any taller than that. But yeah, so an A and B type variety close by helps with pollination, because one flower opens in the morning, which is a male type, and the female flower on the other plant will open the same morning, and vice versa. So that's why they pollinate each other. Number 8 is to protect these trees from sunburn, is use this product called IV Organics. Which is a 3-in-1 plant guard, which protects from sunscreen, rodents and insects. You can see this white that I've sprayed here on the leaves. It's like a sun cream. And painted on the branches is white. Because here in southeast Queensland, it gets pretty darn hot, and your plants can easily suffer from sunburn, and it can kill them pretty quick too. But once you spray this white all over them and paint your branches and your stems, it just helps so much with sunburn, because sunburn's a massive killer with avocados. So definitely get onto some Ivy Organics. I'll put a picture up for you. Order it off Amazon, that's where I normally get it. And yeah, definitely get some of that onto your avocados. When you paint it on your stems too, it stops rodents chewing around your base of your tree. And if you ever like prune your tree, just put some on where you prune it as well. Stops insects getting into your timber and start like eating out your tree. So if you do a pruning like that, you can see it's got some white on it. It just stops insects getting in there, because it's got actually some oils in it that they don't like the taste of. And it's all organic too. So it definitely doesn't hurt your trees. And I've used it for quite a few years now. I use it on a lot of trees. But avocado is the main one you definitely want to use it on, especially for sunburn. Okay, number 9 is something you definitely have to do when you put them in a raised bed, is stake them. Especially when they're young. Just put some stakes in them. These stakes have been pretty much pulled out of these now, but I had these staked when they were young. Now I've actually got it wrapped and tied to the fence, because we had a cyclone come through only a few weeks ago, and I wanted to make sure they were strapped together and tied up pretty good. I've got this stake coming right up here, and I've just got a bit of wire wrapped around it just to stop it from swaying so much in the wind. Because what happens with these trees, once you put them in a raised bed, the soil that you've put in there is not real compact, you know what I mean, because it's loose for drainage. Your plant tends to lean and fall over, so you really want to stake your plants really well while they're young. These ones are pretty good now because they're a fair bit older. You know what I mean, they've grown, they've established all their roots. The amount of roots down in here is amazing. There's all fibrous roots right through this whole, it's like this whole tree is in a pot. When you pull a tree out of a pot and you can see all the fibrous roots everywhere, that's what this whole raised bed is. It's just one big patch of fibrous roots. It's just massive big root system, this whole area. And that's why it's doing so well, because it's got such a healthy aerated root system. They love the air. And because it's so easy to grow through, the roots just grow really quick. And that allows the tree to be so much healthier and grow a lot quicker as well. Okay guys, and number 10 hack is don't overwater. It's so easy to come out into your yard and water all your fruit trees. I've got a lot of citrus, and mainly citrus my other trees are. Soursop, bananas, pawpaws, you know what I mean, a lot of my plants that love water. But the avocado, I only water it like once a week. The rest of them in summer, I water them almost every day. But the avocado, when I get to that, I don't water it. You know what I mean? Once they're established, once they're young, yeah, you probably want to water them a couple of times a week, depending on how hot it is. But when they start getting a bit more established, you really want to drop the watering right down. I really only water this once or twice a fortnight. And I don't water it much at all, because we get so much rain. If we've had rain, I just don't water it at all. Well, that's it guys. Well, I really think if you apply some of these hacks to your avocado trees, you're definitely going to have a lot more success in growing avocados. Because I've tried and failed quite a few times, and I'm sure you have too. So if you take on a bit of this and have a crack, try again, because a lot of us get disheartened with avocados and go, nah, I'm not growing them again, just a waste of time, waste of money. But definitely worth having a crack. When you know all these hacks, you definitely know what affects them the most. Hence you can really be confident that you can grow yourself some avocados. Rightio guys, all the best, and let me know in the comments if you're going to do something similar and have a crack, and I'd love to hear how yous go. Till next time guys, take it easy. Bye.